The
Hello,
Love of
everybody.
Lapidary Podcast, Season 2,
hmm
Episode 3. And unless Matt makes it, it looks like we're going to have three of us today because Andrew and Ryan are out of town at Ryan's sister's wedding,
Oh, wow.
which is fabulous. I'm really happy for her. Um, so, how are you guys today?
Disconnected? I didn't even know Ryan and I mean I've been so busy this week. I haven't even hardly looked at
Uh,
Facebook.
okay, yeah. Yeah, he sent a message the other day to remind us that they wouldn't be here. Um, I had forgotten as well. But yeah, it's his sister's wedding, and I believe, if I'm not wrong, that they went to California. I know he said they were boarding a plane. So,
He should have just got on live at the wedding and joined us anyway.
right? Like,
There
doesn't
you
he have a
go, right?
phone? Don't they both
Right?
have phones, but they could each have their own square? Like, you
Exactly.
know? I mean, what, like her getting married is more important than the podcast? Come on, guys.
Jeez.
But that's
Nothing is
okay.
more important
Yeah.
than the podcast.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Hey,
been
there's
crazy.
Twyla.
Hey, Twyla, what's up? So, what's new this week with you guys? Brad, what's new with you this week?
Oh, just trying to
What
get
you
the
got?
store resituated. We
Okay.
we learned real fast that we outgrew the store already, but that's
Oh
all right.
no, really?
That just means I have back stock when we sell stuff. We'll put new
That's
stuff on the
right.
tables.
There you go.
It's all right.
There you go. Hey, Frank, Jennifer Minter is here. Jennifer Minter is our Facebook user. She's the hi, everybody, miss seeing you guys, and howdy, y'all, is Frank. Sorry. Hey, Jackie. Um, and the store is how big?
Oh, it's only what 16 by 24.
Okay. Okay.
I say I ran out of room, but right now all we've got like 6 foot tables sitting out,
Right. So
and
you
you
just
can
need
fill
to
a
build
six
some
foot table
shelving.
out. When I do shelving, it'll add a lot more
Absolutely.
merchandise space, I
Yes.
guess. But when you only
Yes.
have so many tables, it is what it is.
Right. You know what I did was I went and I got so you've got the solid framing, right?
Yep.
Go to like your local thrift shops if you have any. Like we have one here called Savers, and I
Uh
went
huh.
up there and I got some bookshelves, like two or
Oh,
three tall. I mean
yeah.
that means tall, right?
Yep.
Bookshelves that are like five shelves, and I got the metal L brackets,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
and I screwed the top of them, and I just secured them to the wall, and that's where I've got like all my animal carvings and points and that kind of stuff is on those
But
shelves. Makes
the
a big difference.
the one thing we've done is we've been collecting lighted curio cabinets. We've got
Nice.
what have we got? 5 or 6 of them in the store right now. So
There
that
you
gives
go.
us a lot of space. But then
Yes.
I was also given, you've seen the glass display cases that are
Yeah.
just the 12-inch square cubes that you
Yeah.
could change your design. I was
Right.
given 3 sets of those that will be
Oh,
awesome once we get the
nice.
store done. So
There
that was
you
pretty
go.
cool.
There you go. Yeah, absolutely. Map cabinets for showing and displaying cabs slabs. That's a good idea.
Hmm,
Map cabinets is a
Definitely.
great idea. I
hadn't thought of
have
that.
all mine just on the landlord when I moved in gave me a conference room table. So I've got my taller tables that have the other stuff on them, but then the conference room table, that's where I have all my slabs. It's just in bins, with
Yep.
little signs that say, dollar for these, $5 for these, $8 for these type thing. And then behind the bins, I have all this rough just set out on that table. It seems to work out pretty well. So yeah, good stuff. Hey Jax, how you doing, darling? I'm just flipping back and forth between us and Facebook so I can see who the Facebook users are. Um, so what about you, Dave? What have you been up to?
Everything but cabbing, it seems like. I am, I am, and I think last week I told you, I am trying to learn, and we're practicing on copper, which is really kind of difficult to work with. but
Right.
I'm learning the silversmithing stuff. So I've kind
Nice.
of stopped cabbing for a couple of weeks and trying to commit myself to learn some of this
Right.
and start
Now
setting some of my cabs.
right, right. Yeah, you're right, Scott. People do like to open drawers. It makes them feel like they're doing something they're not supposed to do, which is always a good thing, right?
Yep.
Um, so before the show, we were talking about this little device that Dave found for cutting wire, and show it, Dave, and then
Yeah,
explain because you're learning silversmithing. So I guess my question
right.
is, what kind of wire are you cutting?
So this is for actually you can use just about any of the wire that you would use, but right now I'm using this for my flat bezel wire. So
Okay,
because when you pull that around to solder the two ends of that bezel together, those
right,
need to be exactly perfectly flush. So you stick your wire through here and you can see on this one side there's a stop.
right.
So your wire will poke through and it'll go up against that stop right there. I don't know if you can see that wire sticking through. It'll go up against
Gotcha.
that stop and you can pull it back where you need and you tighten this down and you pull that back just where you need it to. And then you take your little file and you file that flat across there and then you
Okay.
pull it out and you do the other end. That way, when you get ready to do that bezel wire, those
Mm-hmm.
are perfectly flush because otherwise they will not solder because solder does not fill
Gotcha.
gaps and your bezel
Gotcha.
needs to be straight. So I found this
Okay.
little gem. Now, this one here was on
Hey,
Amazon
Robin.
for 45,
Okay.
but they run 75, $80 in most places. And Rio Grande wanted $215 for the identical one. So I chose the
Hey,
$45
Kelly.
one for now.
So I have a question. Can wire wrappers use that as well? Do
They
you think?
can if there's something that they need. So you also have this top piece. Let me pull this these screws back up so we can close that section. And you can see that there are on this side,
Uh-huh.
you can see that there are round triangle, there are different areas, and this is
Okay.
your 45 degree. So if you
Gotcha.
need to cut something
Gotcha.
off at an angle on there to do your
Right.
wiring. So this is a 4590 is what this one is, or was it a 6090?
Okay.
6090, I'm sorry. So you
That's
got a
kind of
60 and a
cool.
90 on there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So different sizes of wire, different angles.
right.
That's really neat. That's really
And
neat. Kelly, do you use something like that in your wire wrapping, or is something like that? Would it make sense for wrappers to use something like that? Do you think? Um, Kelly's here. Remember Kelly?
Oh
So
yeah.
I figured
Hey,
I would just
everybody.
ask her the question since she's here. I've never
I've
seen
seen,
anything
yeah.
like that. Okay, she just uses the handhelds.
I have my
Yeah,
handheld flush
those.
cutters.
Okay,
If you have a really good eye and you can get that straight every time, fantastic.
right.
I wear trifocals, and so my eyesight's not the best anyway.
Okay,
Yeah,
right.
and she's right. This is more for silversmithing, but it is also used by some wire wrappers because they're
I just
doing
was
different
wondering, yeah, it
pieces.
seems
Yeah,
like such a nifty little thing that I was
it
wondering
is.
because
Yeah,
I don't know that much about wire wrapping. Like, do you even need angles and do you need, you know what I
right.
mean? I don't know.
I'd never seen the thing
I go to
before.
Kelly for that, Kelly or Lisa for that
I go online.
information, you know? Right, right, right. So, yeah, that's really cool. That's really cool. I'm really enjoying watching your progress
You,
and hearing about
you're
your
enjoying watching my
endeavors.
pain.
Well, I mean, maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit.
Pain, progress.
It's
Hey,
all the same,
you know
right?
what they say, no
Yep.
pain, no gain.
That's right. Well, it's like we talked about last week. I mean, you don't ever fail till you stop trying, right? So,
Right,
Yep.
you
right.
know, every time
Yeah,
you know, they call it practice for a reason, right?
well, I'm a special education teacher. That's what I went to school for when I quit driving. And
Mm-hmm.
one thing that I learned real fast, there is, especially for people who have difficulties learning to manipulate or something different. If there is no failure, there is no success.
That's
You
right.
can't understand success without failure.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's right. I agree with that. I agree with that. You know, that's life, right? How do we learn?
Right.
Even from the time we're very little, we learn by making mistakes. If you don't make mistakes, you're not going to learn, right?
Right.
Yep.
And
So
I make lots of mistakes.
I do too. I do too. Less than I used to in some areas. Um, but still, yeah, it's it's an ever learning progress process.
Right.
Yep.
That was a lot. That was a lot to try to say. So what have I been doing this week? I mean, it's crazy. I haven't been doing much cutting either. I'm still trying to. I was looking today. I had a show on a Facebook group today, and I was thinking, great, I'll post this and I'll post that and I'll post that and I'll post that and I'll post that. And I've got all the pictures, but I don't have any of the measurements here, and everything's at the store. And so what I've been doing is kind of just pulling things from the website to post because everything's there, right? But nothing that I wanted to post is on the website yet. So I guess I better
So
get back to trying to get stuff up on the
how's the
website.
store doing?
The store's actually doing pretty good. Um, it still doesn't pay for itself, but it's closer. It's
Okay.
closer. It almost paid for itself in January, and it'll almost pay for itself in February.
Right.
So a little bit at a time. We're getting busier. We're getting more. I'm getting more. That is a very good point, Frank. The mind, not to totally change the subject, but I'm going to do
Right.
it anyway. The mind will believe exactly what you tell it, right? If you tell yourself you can't do something, you're not going to be able to do it.
Yep.
But if you tell yourself you can, even if you have to go through, 45, you can do this, eventually you will be able to.
100%.
I firmly believe that the mind believes exactly
Doesn't
what you
always
tell it.
work though. I've
I
been
mean,
telling
not
my wife for
always, but
35 years, you can't pull money out of my bank account anytime you want. And she does it anyway.
well, shame on you for giving her the information. That's on you, my friend.
I guess it is, isn't it? But no, you're absolutely right. And
Yeah. And you don't ever know, just like, you have dreams, right? You have dreams and things you want to do, and things in your mind. But if you don't ever try, you're never going to be able to make them happen, right? So if you have something, and life is short, right? Like
Yeah.
we think we have forever. Life is short. We are, specifically the three of us, right? Because we are the older of the podcast.
we are.
Um, we are very blessed. The ages that we are ages that are not blessed and afforded to everybody, right? So it's really important to do the things that you want to do, to try and attain the things that you want to attain or do, right? I mean, yeah, we got bills to pay, yeah, we got responsibilities, but somewhere in there, at some point, it's got to become about quality of life, not how much money are you making or what kind of car do you drive,
Right.
or all of that stuff. And I'm gonna jump off my soapbox, and I'm gonna jump right back into these talk about rocks, because I'll
Well,
talk for hours and hours on that stuff. So
I wanted to ask you about the store a little more. So you've had it what, close to 6 months now? Has it been that long?
we opened it at the end of July. So yes, it's been,
Okay.
yep,
So
actually last week was 6 months. So
if you're almost making it,
mhm,
before your first year up, that's not bad. Most stores
not at
1 to 3 years
all.
to start paying the bills.
Yes, and I knew going in, I said, if we can at the 1 year mark say that we even had 1 month where we paid for ourselves,
Right.
I'll be happy,
Or broke
right?
even.
And I think when we start doing the festivals in the spring, that'll help.
Right.
Doing the live shows help. We've got some really awesome people supporting the live shows, which is great. Frank and Twyla come every single week and help support. Kelly comes. Um, that helps. And it's just been a lot of fun. Now, to be 100% fair, if I would stop buying inventory, it would come even closer to paying for itself, right?
No.
But if you don't buy inventory, you can't make the money.
That's true. That's true. But I'm at a point now where I'm starting to have the overstock inventory, right? The overstock room is starting to fill up. And I wanted to get to that point so that when we do the festivals, I don't have to pull from the floor. I want to pull from the inventory room and take that
Yep.
stuff to the festivals. Otherwise, it's too much of a pain in the butt to try and pull everything from the floor, take it to a festival, and then come back and try and put it all back on the floor again.
Yep.
So I'm getting to that point. I still have 1, 2, 3, 4. When the other 2 come, I'll have about 7 boxes of inventory still to unpack. And then I'm at a point right now where I'm going to, knock on everything wood and just laugh at me when I say this. I'm going to try really hard not to buy anything until after the first festival. I know that's not going to happen because I buy rocks.
Whoa.
That's what I do.
Positive
right?
thinking.
Yes. But the first festival is in May. So if I could go from now until the end of May without buying anything, unless I sell a bunch, obviously if I sell out of something, then I'll replace it. But I don't need to be buying any more inventory until we start selling more stuff. I've got, everything you can imagine, right? Probably not. There's probably a whole lot more that I don't have, but
You want me to send you pictures and stuff you need?
Yes.
Yeah, Brad's really good at that.
He is. Jax, actually, I don't know if you're still here, Jax. My lives are every Tuesday at 4:30 Eastern. I just go live for an hour. I do 1 week. I do finished goods, whatever the new inventory that's come in, because I like to give the Facebook people the opportunity to buy stuff or to see stuff before I put it out on the floor or before it hits the website, right? Because all you guys are the ones that have really enabled me to continue going down this dream.
For sure.
That I have, you know what I mean? So I try to do that. So every other week, it's 1 week is finished goods, and then the following week it's slabs and caps. So I just kind of alternate back and forth. So I kind of cover everybody. And that seems to be working out pretty well.
I don't know how you do it, Courtney, because I know you also have another business that you run.
Because I'm a freaking nut job, Dave. I'm a nut.
I've been there. It takes so much out of you. So you're running one. You're doing the store. You're doing the show. You still have a home life with a husband that, tagging around. All of the things that you do.
It's a lot.
Oh, my goodness. That is a lot.
Yeah, but that's why I only have the store open 3 days a week right now.
Right.
Until it is at a point where I can hire somebody. It just doesn't make sense to open more days. Mm-hmm. So Monday is stuff in my personal life, right? Tuesday, the store's open all day. Wednesday is, depending on the schedule, three Wednesdays out of the month I'm working for the other company. Thursday's the store. Yes, 3 dogs and a lizard. Thursday's the store. Friday mornings I generally have free every other Friday, and then Friday evenings I work. 1 Saturday out of the month I work. So Sundays I try not to work, but there's always something that needs to be done.
Right.
That's my clean the house. Maybe. So I really have 1 Wednesday a month off, and that is about it. Yes, and caring for Lenny. Lenny is my lizard. She comes to the store with me on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and sometimes on Saturdays. And she helps me out. She's a hoot. But so that's my schedule is just crazy, right? And thank God for my husband, who is blessed to be able to work from home. So he kind of takes care of the dogs and he does the laundry, and 9 times out of 10 he's the one cooking, and so I'm
so what does he do, Courtney?
Extremely blessed. He is he does cybersecurity. So
okay. That's what my brother does.
Yep, compliance type stuff.
Awesome.
He works mainly with a program called FedRAMP for the company that he works for, making sure that the company he works for is compliant within the government space to be able to.
So he got a government gig. That's nice.
Well, he doesn't work for the government, but he works on the program. It's a whole thing.
Hey, you got to have the same clearances either way. They're tough on you. It's a
whole thing. But he's been involved with this FedRAMP program in some way, shape, or form, either as an analyst, an auditor, or what he does now, the compliance end of it, for I don't know, 27, 28 years, something like that.
Nice.
Long before I ever met him, you know.
He's got some solid there.
He does, and the man's got a big old brain and a big old file cabinet to go with it. And he's a wonderful, wonderful person. I really, truly am like so blessed. I would not be able to be the crazy that I am without him. So.
Sounds like we all have a story like that. I mean, Brad's got one who backs him up. You know, my wife's a chemist.
Yeah.
She's got the big brain.
Right.
Just got another raise. You know, she puts all this stuff together. She's meeting with governors and all kinds of stuff over here in Salem and doing that. I have no clue how she does it. You know,
Right.
I'm lucky that I can count to 12 and
Right.
both shoes on, you know, at the same time.
Right. Right. And you know what, Jackie, he does like rocks, oddly enough.
Yeah.
He doesn't like them like I do, but he does like them. Yeah, Dave is not blessed in that regard.
No.
I always say, you know, when I feel like I'm getting, he's actually the one that encouraged me to start selling my cabs. I never thought I could sell my cabs, and he encouraged me to take that leap and start selling my cabs. And then he said, because I always just did it on a personal level, I wasn't part of the company. And then he said, you know, you're doing pretty good. You should really roll this into the company and make it bigger. Make it grow. And without his support and encouragement, I don't know that I would have had the confidence to do everything that I've done. And the ability to quit my full-time job 5 years ago. You know what I mean? To really put my heart into what I wanted to do. You know, it's I don't know, it's amazing. I'm just going with it's amazing.
There you go.
So anytime I feel like I'm ignoring him or he's not getting what he should, I buy him an opal and he's happy.
Now my wife would take opals. That's not a rock to her. That's that's a precious gem. Now, and she would like rocks if she could put it in sulfuric acid and titrate it. Then she would be okay with rocks. But it's not about the rocks. It's about the whoopee feeling of watching it dissolve.
Well, there are some rocks that she could do that with, right?
And she actually does, because she works for Western Oregon University, so she is their chemist there. And so she puts together all of their experiments. Matter of fact, here's the sad thing. She has a master's degree that she got 2 years ago. She finally went back and got her master's degree.
Nice.
And she got the master's of environmental chemistry. But she has all of those PhD instructors there who come to her 1,800 times a day because they can't get experiments to work. They don't know what to replace this volatile with this I mean, she does all of that for them. They would just absolutely be lost because, like you're talking about with your husband, she's got one of those brains. It's that category that she works in. She's got such a love for chemistry.
Right. Yes, I am Frank. And no, Jackie, never did I dream that this would be my life today. No. Right? No. It's amazing. And it is pretty cool. It's pretty freaking cool.
Jackie, the first time I even knew this existed was I think that was about 1996 when my wife and I had moved to Ontario, Oregon, and my folks were there, and they ran the Best Western and the Super 8 motels. And Dad had gotten into it. He had this little cabmate that I've got sitting over here, and he'd gotten into it. I didn't know that type of rock world even existed. And I had my computer stores, I was running a new business, trying to build something for myself. And, one thing led to another. We all ended up back over here. And one day after my mom passed away, he got remarried to a childhood friend that he'd known. And they were in Mississippi. And he calls me up. He said, hey, I can't do this stuff anymore. He said, we're coming out in the motorhome. Do you want all this equipment? And, here we are. Yeah. I mean, now we're doing this show. I had very little knowledge when we started this. It's only been 5 years for me.
Right.
And Jackie, it's been quite a journey to get where we're at right now.
Yeah. And the people that we've met.
Too, right.
Like, think about it. Like, I never would have met you guys ever in a million years.
True.
Right. If it wasn't or any of you that are on this show, for that matter, that are here watching with us or any of it, I never would have, it's a whole new and exciting world full of mostly wonderful people and a whole lot of
mostly. I like the way you said
that. I mean, there's a few, right?
There is.
but just the knowledge that's still untapped, right?
Oh
And
gosh.
that's the exciting part for me is all of this continuing to learn, the ability to continue to learn new things
Right.
and new people and learn something from each and every one of them, right? And maybe be able to share a little bit of what I've learned too. That's the amazing part, right?
Oh.
So yes, Kelly Kelly bought a cab from me. What, 3 years ago, Kelly? 4 years ago? Um, on Facebook, claimed a cab. And when she sent me her address for the shipping, I sent her a message and I was like, seriously? Do you want to just meet rather than and save yourself, the $6 in shipping or whatever it was then? And so we met at a Tractor Supply store parking lot, and
Party on.
we've been fast friends ever since. But it's just one of those things. Like, she lives 20-30 minutes away from me. Like, who knew?
Wow.
And there's a couple other people that are the same way, that, like, who knew? And I'm finding that with the store too. People that come in and like, wow, I'm so glad you're here. And they've got this whole other group of people that, and it's just, I don't know, it's amazing to me. It's amazing to me.
Well, and one of these days we all have to meet up.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, absolutely, we do.
I have to laugh at Jackie's comment there. She says, I feel like Brad's a rock guy since forever. Does that mean she thinks I'm that old that I am a rock or what?
Right.
So no, Jackie, I've always been a rock hound. I've loved collecting rocks. I've done that since I was just a little kid.
Nice.
But I never really started doing anything with my rocks until probably it's probably been 6 or 7 years ago that I started playing with. It was basically when I had so many rocks and I loved spheres, and I got to start doing something with these. So I started learning how to make spheres, and then it just went from there. And then when I got with Monica, and she kind of liked rocks and she knew a little bit about them, but nothing really. And when we started going, she's pushed this rock business to what it is. If it wasn't for her pushing, I wouldn't be where we're at right now. There's no way.
Thank you, Monica. That's awesome.
So Brad is partially responsible for
Hi,
these.
Mary.
This is something I started making, was these silly
sockets,
pop sockets.
yeah.
And then I posted one day, and Brad came on and posted back, and he was making pop sockets over where he was, and we got to talking back and forth. And of course, David Garcia had made a video, a down and dirty pop socket, and I just kind of started taking, and Brad and I started talking, and he, just about some different things that we were doing. Matter of fact, this one just sold. We got a $50 bid on this one for the charity.
Nice.
And this one sold.
But
yeah, I mean, I met Brad that way. I don't think, Courtney, I knew you yet, but I met Brad. Was that in Vince's group, Brad?
Heck, it probably might have been in the Easy Cab group.
It might have been. I mean, that's been a while back.
Right.
Or one of Kirsten's groups.
And that.
Well, and she and I've got to meet Kirsten.
Through
She and I went rock hunting together, and so because I think all of us admin at least one of her groups.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so.
Isn't it wonderful to actually meet some of these people too? Like, that are farther away. Like, I don't know, did I tell you guys last week that Chris from Astral Creations stopped by the store? He was on his way from North Carolina back home to New York, and he and Bill stopped by the store and hung out with me for a couple hours. And it's wonderful to meet these people that like you said, that we admin in groups together, or that we see on Facebook, and we're supporting each other that way. But to actually meet people in person is just a whole nother level of wonderful.
Yeah.
So
I did it. I was hoping to meet Lapidary Dave when I was in Tucson. I missed him, but I got to meet his cohort that was with him when we did the show on Church show. Yeah, I got to meet him and visit with him for a little while. So
that's awesome.
It was pretty fun.
Yeah, that was a fun show.
Sounds like you had a good time
with those guys.
It was a great time. I'll be back down there for another month next year. It's already on the calendar, and we're gonna do it again.
Good. That's
Which
so great,
reminds me,
Brad.
Brad, I think I owe you for a couple of pieces of what you call it with bugs in it. My mind just went
The
blank.
With
amber.
bugs in it,
The amber,
amber.
yeah.
I've got him sitting here. I just
Yes, Sprite.
never. Yeah, Sprite. That's who.
There you
That's the
go.
name.
Sprite,
Sprite was
yeah.
awesome. Yeah, Dave. I just never found any of the other rocks you met, and now that I'm getting everything out and reorganized, we'll get with you and get you that amber coming up.
Yeah, I'm
It's
not in a hurry. I just now remembered you'd gone down there and you said you had those, and so yeah, I thought it'd be fun to have one for
yeah,
the grandbaby
Yeah.
and
and
and what
Yeah.
I really liked about this amber, I found is I've always liked amber, but you always have to carry a loop with you or a magnifying glass so you can see the bug.
right,
The gentleman I got this from, he takes the time to use his microscope and take a picture of the bug, and so each piece of amber has a 5x7 picture, so you can look at it and
nice.
say, "Oh, that's what the bug is in this piece of amber."
Well,
That's
I'll be.
great.
Now that's
And so that
awesome.
makes them really cool. You don't have to, like Dave saying, if it's for his grandkids, now they can look at this picture and say, "This is the bug that's
Right,
in this rock," and all the kids at show and tell will be able to see what that bug looked like, and it
Right.
tells you it's from Colombia or Burma or wherever it happened to come from. It gives you all the history of it. It was a
That's
great guy
awesome.
that's
to
awesome.
meet.
That's fantastic. You're gonna
Yeah,
love that.
that's really cool.
Yeah,
That's that extra mile, right?
right.
Yep.
That
And he
makes
didn't drink.
it
His
special.
prices were still great
Right.
for to even though he added it, he didn't take his amber price clear through the roof to take the time to do that.
Right. Right. Right.
Speaking of my granddaughter, did you guys see the picture I posted the other day of where she had come out to my shop and dug through this can of
Yeah.
Yeah.
rocks? She had them
Yep.
out on my workbench over here. Well, she took some of those home with her. She'd never played with rocks before. I mean, she's not quite. She'll be
Oh
two next month.
wow.
And
Oh
so
yeah. Get them
my daughter
started
sent a text.
early.
Oh yeah, no, my daughter sent a text said you made a monster out of her because they're walking out on the beach and she's got this backpack on and
And
she
kept
couldn't reach
picking
the
up
rocks, so
rocks.
she's making my daughter pick up the rocks and hold them for her, and she had to
That's
have every rock that she saw out
great.
there on the beach.
Good for her.
So new
Good for
rock
her.
hound.
That's
That's
awesome.
that's
I
awesome.
I almost bought some amber from this gentleman, but it was like $500 for pieces of amber like this big, but
Oh
they
my
had
god.
feathers in them,
Oh wow.
Really?
and
Now
I
that
was just. I was in awe, but it's like, no, one piece of amber. Yeah, I better.
Right.
it,
Right.
it, it,
Right.
it might be worth $500 to have one piece to make something as a keepsake. I mean,
I
that's tempting.
Right.
I've got his contact information, and I will be getting some.
There
Yeah,
there
and
you go.
when you get yours, I want to see it because I find that very intriguing.
Right.
It was amazing.
Right. So
Wow.
Frank, the ones that you have, you said mostly with spiders, right? I mean, I know you said arachnids, but I'm going to say spiders. Can you actually tell they're spiders? Like, are they? I don't like amber with bugs in it
See its bits.
personally. It's not my thing, right? Um, but a lot of people do. But
I
I
have a
want to
couple of
know.
pieces of blue amber here somewhere.
Do you? I got some cherry. I don't
Yeah.
have any blue.
Wonder what I did with that.
There's a guy on Facebook that Ryan deals. I'm sure you're all part of the group too. Is it the Amber Man? Is that what he is? That always has the amber,
I know I've seen some, but I don't remember who it is.
Yeah,
right?
I'm sure.
Yeah, I got a big old piece of cherry amber from Ryan years ago, probably 2, 3 years ago now, that I still have because I'm afraid to cut it. Um, and then he kind of got upset for selling because he didn't realize that it was going to be hard for him to get a piece of that quality again. So I've got this beautiful. I mean, it's got to be this big and
Oh
and probably
wow.
Wow.
probably that thick. Excuse me. It's amazing and just dark red, just amazing, beautiful. So I don't know. Maybe one day I'll cut a slice off it and try and do something
I've
with
never
it.
fooled with it. I have, I think 3 or 4 pieces. They're probably that big around each of the blue and about that many of the pitch color, the amber colored as well.
Right,
But they're
right.
rough on the outside, so I don't know what's on the inside. They haven't been worked. I don't know how to work
Yeah.
them. I've never done it.
Gotcha, gotcha. Amberscape on YouTube. Okay, I'll definitely check that out.
Oh,
Not a seller, but
Fra-
still, yeah.
Frank's got 2 pieces of amber that the spiders are large enough you can see with the naked eye.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Oh, he hunts the Baltic Sea. That's
yeah, in
great.
the Baltic, yeah, that's a place where they do find some of the best amber in the world.
Right. Hey, Frank, if you get a chance, can you take pictures and put them on the Love of Lapidary group so we can
Oh,
see them too?
for sure, that'd be awesome. I'd like to see
Please
them.
and thank you. We would really like to see that. I mean, I wouldn't really like to see that, but everybody else would. I know.
I'd love to
I
see
know
that.
Ryan and Andrew and Dave and Brad and Matt would probably enjoy that.
Absolutely. You know what's sad is when you buy so many different
Oh,
things
Scott, if
and
you
you
do,
have
let
nowhere
me
it
know.
goes.
I would love to have some blue. Prehistoric bugs? Yeah, I mean, why would we not want to see prehistoric bugs? I mean, if you're into bugs, I'm not real into bugs. I'm into rocks.
Well, I don't know. We found out a little while ago. I mean, we just look at Brad. He was there and helped Fred build his first car.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I helped him round those tires out the first time.
Right, right. I don't know, Jennifer. To be honest with you, I'm going to use the regular wheels that I use. Probably,
And that's what I've heard too.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. The
probably
280.
more worn wheels as opposed to fresh wheels. But yeah, I would just use my regular wheels.
I've never done it, but it should just polish up like anything else.
Yeah,
It's going to be like doing a calcite or something like that. It's going to be super soft
right,
and it's going to go away really fast. So you got to be careful.
right. Thus, using the more worn wheels as opposed
And
to
lots
the
of
new
water.
wheels. Dave, you were around when man discovered how to use fire, so you have you have lots to say. Wow, poor Dave.
You know, there's this whole situation with the fence and with my age and with all kinds of stuff, and I have to renegotiate some friendships here, I think.
Yeah, right, right. That's funny that you say that because it is like, I don't know, in the last maybe 2 years, I have realized that I got to slow down a little bit, not a lot, a little bit, and there's just certain things I can't do anymore. Like I can't be like Brad and frame and drywall and where a few years ago I could still do that, right?
Yeah.
I can't do that stuff anymore. Now I got to pay people to do it because I just have reached a point where, I mean, I probably could, but is it worth the wear and tear on my body and you know what I mean? I know,
Yep.
I
It's
know,
a
Scott.
decision. It's a
Yeah,
decision.
yeah,
We have
and
so
we
much to do
just,
here. I'm the same way, Courtney.
yeah,
Normally, I would go out. I've got a little tractor here. I normally do all that kind of work, but some of it is beyond me now. I never did learn to do some. Some of it I just can't do physically anymore. We're getting ready to get a loan against the mortgage to have some work done on this house because it needs to be done, and I just can't get out and do it. Besides, if I got hurt, I couldn't come out and work in my shop.
that's right, exactly. Yeah, so it's quality of life versus, right?
Absolutely.
So
Hmm.
Sharon, hi Sharon, welcome.
Dave's
Uh,
was a waiter at the Last Supper, huh?
yeah, right.
Wait at the last.
She says
Jeez.
wet,
Wow.
she just uses wet sandpaper on amber because she tried it on her wheels and it made a really big mess. So
Oh, okay.
when you say a horrible mess, is it like pyrite makes a horrible mess and cobalite makes a horrible mess? But we like working those. Is amber kind of the same deal, or
Mm.
when you say a horrible mess, what kind of horrible mess are you talking about?
Because Courtney does
Because
not like Saloma Lane for the same reason.
It's not that it's messy. It's not why I don't like it. Because I do like to cut messy stuff. I love cutting cobalite and I love cutting pyrite. I like the messy stuff. I don't like salamalane because it tears my wheels up.
Oh, that's right. I remember you saying that now. Yeah.
Them wheels are just too expensive to well, so the first couple pieces of salamalane I had were really, really nice. And they cut beautifully. And then I got this one piece, and I kid you not, 3 cabs I went through 2 sets of wheels.
Oh, gee.
Wow.
Not 2 sets of wheels, 2 280s. Because
Oh,
I just
my
couldn't get.
goodness.
And that was when I was like, you know what? Never again. Not
Yeah.
cutting it ever again. Okay, so tar on asphalt, so it gets sticky.
So, yeah. So Frank, is that because
Okay.
it gets hot, or it just has that property no matter whether you keep it cold with a lot of water? I have no clue.
Yeah. So she likes messy too. Sticky, waxy, that gums up everything. Okay. And I wonder if that's because when I think amber, I think sap,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
right?
Pitch.
So when sap gets hot, there you go. It's going to melt, and then it's
Going to
gonna
melt.
get
So
sticky, right? So that makes sense.
yeah, at the very
So
least,
for
cold water.
Yeah.
I think, Dave, for us on the easy cap, put it on the low speed so your
Right.
wheels ain't turning as fast and lots of water.
Right.
Well,
Lots
and maybe
of
put
You
cold.
some
might be
ice up in
okay.
the bucket.
Yeah.
Yep.
There you go. Yeah, ice water.
Help
Right.
keep it cold.
Too high RPM. That's why people work it slow and by hand. Okay, that makes
Right.
sense. That makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, pyrite's fun, right? I like pyrite. Lots of it, but still too much heat for the amber. Okay.
Even with super cold water.
So I won't destroy the red amber by doing that. Then I will get
So it
my.
might be something, maybe
I'll
a
get
sanding block.
I'll get my
Yeah.
Dremel and some wet sand paper, and
Yep.
I'll go just like I started with the amber then.
Well, and Jaws says lots of water in short spurts on the wheel.
Okay, like a second or 2 at a time.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to do some experimenting, and I will report back on my amber cutting experience.
I have to find mine. It's here somewhere.
See, now
Get all
you're
of this stuff.
you have a
Right.
quest.
Yeah.
We
Now
need, we need
something new.
we
to
need
work
to
with.
be reporting back on our amber experiences next
Exactly.
week. Okay.
I'm not
Amber
going to start grinding on the amber I got. Sorry.
I will, Jackie. I'll check it out.
No,
Well,
not that stuff.
You
That's
got
just
the
kidding.
amber that has bugs and stuff. Yeah, mine doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will try and find a piece. I think I have a couple pieces of the gold. I'll play around with those before I do anything with that red, because that red is just amazing. I will
Yeah,
definitely
Jaws.
check out the I'll check out the Amberscape guy for sure.
With this silversmithing, a lot of automotive sandpaper. Yep,
Yeah,
400
right.
and 600 grit with what we're doing. So yeah, hang on to it.
Right.
Never know what you're going to
You
get
know
into.
what I did? I bought on Amazon years ago, and I still have it. This bag of different grits, like from 80 all the way up to 100,000 grit, and they're just these little
Wow.
discs, right, like that big. And it comes with this little handle and a thing you could. I don't use any of that, and they're just big enough to put just right in my hand and just.
Well, I'll be.
Right.
That's an idea.
So that's what I have always used. You want to see? Here, you know what? Y'all talk. I'm going to see if I can find the red real quick. Hold on.
So RPM on the Genie using a Dremel. I wonder if he can use the. Why is my mind so blank today? I have a flex shaft here that has the pedals. So that, I mean, you can run that pretty slow.
Yeah.
Be able to work with that then. Courtney looks like she went through a wind tunnel trying to find that. I can imagine what her rock room must look like.
If you don't have her headset on, so
She
she
didn't have
can't
her
hear what we're
headset
saying.
on.
What are you talking about? What I miss? So I don't know if you're going to be able to see the red because it's so dark.
Oh, that's a big piece too. Look at that.
Yeah, it's huge.
Ooh.
It's really dark.
Oh, I like
Let's see.
that.
Let's see. Oh, I can get this cord to come over here.
Hey, where'd everybody go? I'm
I'm going to
blind.
try not to blind you guys. Can you? Yeah, you can't really see it, can you?
You can
There,
see
you
it from
can
the
see it.
backside. See that red coming
That's
through?
See a little
dark.
bit of it?
Yes.
Yeah, it's really dark red.
Look at that.
It's beautiful.
Wow.
So
That's
I'll
gorgeous.
try and get some good pictures of it. And I've got another piece somewhere that's smaller and not like this one has some fractures and stuff all over it,
Mhm.
right? The other piece I have is just solid, just amazing. I just happen to know where this one was right off the top of my head. So
And there's something about reds in any piece of material. I posted that that piece of Lucky Strike egg that I cut open this week. I posted it in our group there in our chat just before the show started
mhm.
because it has that beautiful
I was
dark
wondering
red.
what that was.
That
Okay.
is one of the Lucky Strike eggs that I cut open for a lady earlier. Or actually, I did that Sunday.
Let me see if I can
And
pull it real quick.
there is just something about that red that way, and that is such a beautiful deep red on that.
Yeah, this is amazing. Let me see if I can
Cut
do
open two of them that
this.
way. She had two of them that ended up with red in the middle.
Wow.
Yeah, and that one has bots, and it went down in the vug there. It's filled with bots.
Oh, nice. All right, so if I do that,
Oh, let's
and I
see.
go here and I do this, and then I go and I do this, and I go and I do that. And then we do that. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, there you go.
So this is what
Oh,
Dave
that
was just talking about, what he posted earlier in our
it.
group
Oh,
chat.
wow.
Yeah, and it doesn't show that it looks a little more oranges in this photo this way, but it's really a
Right.
deep red.
That's beautiful.
That is
Yeah,
gorgeous.
it almost
So
looks like it looks like a pocket of jelly,
it
right?
does, and that's my half right there.
There you go.
I cut 7 eggs for her that she
7.
had
Wow.
her husband. Her husband passed away 2 years ago,
Mhm.
and my friend Jeff worked with her, and so she brought those over to him a long time ago, and asked him to, if he knew somebody could cut them, so he brought them to me, and I finally got them cut, and so I claimed that half right there for me.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
I definitely do get up sore like Jackie. This is
Yeah.
this is what I'm going to start playing with.
Now, what is
Ooh,
that?
is that Limcast?
This is agatized coral out of Florida.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
There's
Out of Florida?
Yeah, it's out of Florida.
Out of Florida. Okay.
Okay. Very cool. Oh, look at that.
So that's
neat.
one that you would treat like a fire agate then and use a Dremel on with the box
Yep.
in it like that.
Yeah, I
Okay.
would think. Yeah. The
That's-
the red ribbon obsidian. Yes. I got a couple pieces of that I need to cut, actually.
I'm going to get some of that one of these days.
It's so
This is
expensive.
just a bunch of stuff I picked up in
Oh,
Tucson,
very cool.
and it's got some
That's
amazing colors in it. We're gonna play with it. Like I said, that was the first one I showed was my favorite piece because it still actually looks like a piece of coral, but it's
Right,
100% agatized.
I like that.
All
So-
right, hold
Well,
on,
and
let me see if I can
is
find
it actually the agatized coral or is it a limb cast of the coral?
Well, some of it is. You know what, Dave? That's a good question. This to me looks like a limb cast
Yeah, to me
of
too.
the coral.
Right.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
So some of it might be limb cast, but then there's big chunks like that
This is the actual coral.
could be the actual coral.
Right.
I mean, it's got all the little dimples like you.
Show that
Can't see.
again. Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at the flash of color in there too.
Now
Or is
that's
that reflected off the
beautiful,
screen?
Brad.
I love that. Look at that.
Wow.
Yeah, I got a little bit.
Yeah, only a
Oh,
couple
I'm
of
gonna
pieces.
pull one of these right now.
Oh, geez.
It was about 2 pounds of pieces I got.
Wow, nice.
Well, and
All right,
and
I'm
some
gonna
of it's
pull one of these. And I'm
some
gonna
of it's
do
a little
this.
different, and this one here doesn't have a lot of color, but this is agatized coral. And
Yeah.
just a different variety, and I'm just getting ready to start working this. I haven't worked with coral a whole lot, but this one you can see actually the heads of the coral, the flower actually still there, versus what that one that you had, that first one. I'd say that that is a limb cast of it,
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yes,
which
Kelly,
is
bring them.
interesting. Yeah.
Look, Frank was
Yes.
on top of it.
Oh,
Heck,
look at that.
that's awesome.
Look at that. Now that's just one of them. He posted several pictures
I
on the
never seen a
on the
spider that
page. But
big.
look at that.
Personally.
Look at that
Wow.
spider. That's amazing, Frank. Very, very cool. Very
Better take
cool
that to the
indeed.
Jurassic guys and have them make new spiders out of
See,
that.
Courtney, he just made a fan out of bugs in and Amber now, didn't he?
I
Right?
mean, I don't know about a fan. I like looking at it. I don't know that
Well, I've
I'd
been
want
wanting one
it.
for a long time.
But yeah, he posted wow, that's cool. He's got them in this really cool vacuum seal box. Really?
And Kelly, yeah, that's where this stuff all come from, was Tampa Bay.
Okay, nice.
Kelly just said she had a whole bag of it. Her friend told her it was Tampa Bay coral, and
Yeah.
that's where all this come from, was Tampa Bay.
Okay, yeah, definitely bring it, Kelly. I would love to see it. Maybe we could play
Well,
with a piece or two.
she says hers has been tumbled, so that has to be really heavily agatized. I mean, that's good
Oh
material.
yeah.
Yeah, I would think. Very, very cool. Man, got all kinds of good stuff going on tonight. That's awesome.
At a guild
At a
auction.
guild auction, of
What is a
course.
guild auction?
So the guild is what we call our rock shop here. It's called the guild.
Okay. Oh, I
Not
see.
rock shop, excuse me, rock club.
Right. Right.
Is called the guild. And I'm a member. Kelly's much more involved with it than I am. So she goes to some of the gem and rock shows that we have here, and she does wire wrapping classes and works the shows and does all kinds of stuff for them.
It's kind of like our 50 plus center and our Willamette Agate Mineral Society. Everybody gets together and does
Exactly.
That. Kind of the same
Yep,
thing. Okay.
exactly.
All right.
Yep. And they'll do at the actual location, they'll do little shows sometimes.
Oh, nice.
And you can go in and they do little auctions and all kinds of crazy stuff. So
Well, and for anybody that doesn't have places to go, so like our Agate Mineral Society here, they constantly have trips. The trips are free. They put these together. They know where to go. They've got people that know how to find the materials.
right,
Sometimes 40 people would get together and go out on a dig site. Just go out and spend the day.
right,
Yep.
right.
You can take the kids along or whatever the situation. If somebody doesn't know how to find materials or how to identify, you've got dozens of people there. So it's really a good way to start.
Yeah. And I need to get more involved with ours, but time, right?
That's where I'm doing this.
Time.
So our 50 plus center here, all of the lapidary stuff and all of this is taught by members of the Agate Mineral Society that we have here, and so that's who I'm learning that from. Just going to the senior center because they have a lapidary shop.
No, there's not a whole lot for rock hounding around here. But you know what, Kelly? Ryan actually looked up, and we need to look. Apparently, there's somewhere in Ellicott City that we can go and go rock hunt. There's all kinds of places around here. Did you see Jackie's comment?
I see that, and believe it or not, there are about 1,500 people in this club.
Oh wow!
All in all.
In the 50
yeah.
plus club?
The 50 plus itself as well as the.
Are they all over 50?
The
Or
majority
is it just
are.
called 50 plus?
No, it is the 50 plus because it's our senior center.
Okay.
And we do have, because it's in the middle of Salem. I mean, it's right downtown. So
Right.
a lot of people know where it's at. Now, that doesn't mean they all go there at one time.
Right,
I've gone
right.
there and there'll be 50 people in there in one shot, though.
Wow.
And that's
Okay.
in the evening. And so, yeah, no, we have a lot of people that use it here. So it's really a great resource. They teach wire wrapping. I'm doing the silversmithing. They have a full lapidary shop in there that I'm getting ready to start volunteer in and help out
Right.
doing stuff.
Right.
So, yeah, no, that's a really good way to go if you can find one.
Yeah. Well, and
Sure.
where you are though too, and Brad too, where you two live, like you guys have a plethora of options for
Yeah, we do.
stones, right?
Well,
Like out here in Maryland, it's red jasper,
Right.
couple other things, right? There's just not a whole lot of uh, of choices.
Well, the
But
best dig
Ryan
site
got me
around.
thinking before when we were talking about it that there are at least a few. So it's worth I think looking into just to see, and then
Right.
again I can report back on was Ryan lying or not. I don't think he was. Yeah, quartz. Well, you can find quartz everywhere, right? But yeah, supposedly there's somewhere, and I know there's a Herring Run Park, which is not too far from where I live. There's a lot of slag glass. You can go there and hunt slag glass.
I've never cabbed any of it. I have some, but I've never tried cabbing it. I've always turned my nose up. It's not a rock.
Really, in the Baltimore area, there's all of that.
Wow.
I'd love to
All
know
right.
where. Are you doing
All
that
right.
research right now, Scott? Can you send me some information so I don't have to look for myself?
Jeez.
Because I would love to. Yeah, serpentine I know because Bear Hills. Okay.
Well, and
Huh.
Jaws Jr.'s backyard is my favorite dig place.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. With the
I
tonnage of
I could see that.
back there all day long, all day long.
I
Yeah.
was gonna say I've seen some of the stuff he's got in his
Yep.
backyard.
Yes. I love when he posts pictures of just
Yes, some beautiful
the
material.
one section of this and the one section of that. Like I would be in just
Right.
hog heaven just to spend 2 hours sifting through anything in his backyard.
He says I have to arm wrestle his wife for any petrified wood, though.
Right?
And
Well,
he
you know the
told me
thing.
I better. He said it ain't even worth my time trying because she'll kick my butt. So
The thing about Jaws is he just goes and finds people, and by the time he gets through talk to them, they say, "If you'll just shut up and leave me alone, I'll let you have anything. Just take my stuff and go."
Yeah, right? I'm sure there is a book, Jackie, but again, that would require me having 5 minutes to do some
So
research.
almost.
Right?
Let me see this book
And,
right
and
here.
I do. I mean, there's things like I should know a lot more about the area that I live in, right? Um, Kelly, I think we need to meet at Hunt Valley and go check out the wall
So this is a
because
set of
that's
books
close.
that you can get for
Mm-hmm.
almost every single state there is in the U.S. and then some
Okay.
outside the U.S. And
Okay.
these will give you a lot of those, and tell you. And then there's ones like this one right
I gotta
here that
write
I
this
have
down.
that you
Uh-huh.
can also get that is for collecting. You can find these that are made for collecting in your area, and I know you guys are probably seeing it backward, but
Yeah.
it's rocks, gems, and minerals collecting.
I feel like I
Um,
have that book somewhere.
yeah, I've got,
Not the Gem Trails one, but the other
but
one. But I'll look up
this
the Gem
collecting one,
Trails for
sure.
sure.
This is one. This is one of Patty Polk's books right here
Okay.
that I've
Okay.
got. And so you can. There are books that will tell you. Who was it that asked that? Was that Jackie? Yeah, Jackie asked
No,
if there was a book.
she
So
was asking me if there was a book. So that's the thing, Jackie. Here, if I go down to the creek, um, I'm gonna find red jasper, right? That I know. But other than that, I've never, it's all just crap. So I just need to spend the time and do, spend an hour and do some freaking research is
there
what
you
I
go,
need to
Brad.
do, and then
yep, I've
make
got
some
that
time
book.
to go out and actually look.
Right.
Right, my husband would go with me. He loves to do that kind of stuff, and we could take the dogs too. Right, they would love that. So, um, yeah, and spring's coming, so I got no excuse. So because I got to
Well, and
fit
for some
in.
of us,
I got
we
to fit
really
in
need it.
kayaking and taking the dogs out and losing some weight. So
Jeff and I were talking about it the other day. We
I'll
just
find
some
tons of
scope up.
clay
We
in
need
my
to do
yard,
that.
honey. I don't find no quartz in my yard. My yard is full of clay. It's ridiculous. Um, but yeah, so all kinds of good stuff. All kinds of good stuff. So
Jackie, that's really not a bad way to do it. You just go and you collect what you see, what you
right,
like, and you worry about what it is when you get home. But it's kind of the way I tumble rocks. I'll go to the rivers, the beach, I'll pick everything up, I throw it all in one tumble. I don't even separate it. What turns out well, oh well, this is hard enough, and I keep it, and the other stuff I put in a different
right.
tumbler and redo it.
Right, 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 right. Awesome. Thank you, Scott. Thank you. Oh my goodness. And just like that, it's 9:30.
Can you
This
believe that?
hour flew by
It
today,
did.
Really
guys.
did.
Great, 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 great show, in my opinion. I don't know about the rest, how the rest of you feel about it, but I've had a great time tonight.
Frank, my dog steals the rocks and then buries them.
Yeah, right, right. I love the videos of the dogs. If you see the reels of the dogs that are pulling rocks
Right?
out of the shores and whatnot, and
What
with
is it?
all of
I'm
that,
still missing. I'm still missing four geodes that my old German wire hair took off and buried somewhere, and she's passed on now, so I'll never know where she buried them.
that's great.
My
Rock
dog
hounding
weighs
in Brad's property,
my
y'all.
dog weighs about 115 pounds now. She's full grown finally and parked English foxhound. And so every time I get a shipment in, she has to taste every slab,
Yeah,
every chunk. She'll bite the edges with her teeth, and then
right.
she'll decide which one she likes, and she'll grab it and take it from me and
And
take off
take
across
off.
the house.
Sure, sure,
Yeah.
sure. You can't blame her. She likes rocks too.
I think it's because we like the rocks and they
Yeah,
like what we like.
right,
Yep.
right.
Whatever it was with that little wire hair of mine, ever since she was a puppy, she always had a rock in her mouth, and she'd bring it to you and trade you for a treat, and then she'd go
Wow.
find another rock. And
That's
she
great.
did that ever since she was a puppy.
Well, she's
Wow, that's
suckering you, Brad.
awesome. I love that. Trade you for a treat, though. That's great.
She would. 16 years ago, I dealt with that.
Wow. That's
All
awesome. That's awesome.
right, you guys.
All
I
righty.
gotta go eat dinner.
Yep.
But fabulous show tonight, you guys. Had a great time. Hope you did too. Hope all you guys did too. Thank you for being here. We
This is a
love
good
you.
show. I enjoyed it.
This is the time I'm supposed to do Ryan's thing and say, what am I supposed to say? Like, subscribe, share, turn the bell on, blah, 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 all that stuff. And we will see you here next week at the same time, same channel. I will try to post the links before Tuesday, but don't hold your breath.
You're supposed to say same bat time, same bat channel.
I almost did.
Bye bye, everybody.
Bye. Love you guys.
Bye. See ya.